there, children. It's your best friends in all the world. It's me, Uncle Ben.
Me, Hollywood Steve.
And we're dead and lovely. And we're here today to tell you guys about the top 5 horror movies streaming right now, December 2018, on the Netflix that you dang well ought to be watching.
Go check them out.
The first movie that we're going to recommend that you check out this month on the Netflix is a little movie that we covered on episode 57 of our amazing podcast, Dead and Lovely, which you should check out.
You should.
It's a little movie called Green Room.
It's a movie about a punk rock band that gets roped into a show they didn't want to do necessarily. And it turns out the show is full of skinheads and everything goes wrong.
It is an awesome, claustrophobic, I don't know, very realistic kind of movie.
Oh, yeah?
You know, I've as a person who plays music, have ended up in a lot of situations that, like, venues where you show up and things are not what you thought and the crowd is not who you thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
And skinheads make everything worse, y'all.
That's true.
It's the moral of the story.
The cast has the late Anton Yelchin, one of his final roles.
Very good.
Patrick Stewart, and of course, Imogen Poots.
That's only a rumor. It's especially cool to see Patrick Stewart in this flick because you never really see him as a bad guy, and he is the worst guy in this movie.
He is a very bad guy in this movie, yeah.
It's got some really good, jarring, brutal violence.
Yeah, stuff that you don't expect to happen. And things that you don't necessarily want to see, maybe.
No, not exactly. Really, really, really good movie. I enjoyed this one very much. It also, I think, shines a very realistic light on what it's like to tour, you know, as like a non-megastar band.
And especially for punk groups.
Oh, dude, just how shitty it is. The movie does a really good job of capturing that tour experience if you really want to know what it's actually like going out there and doing this stuff.
If you like movies like Assault on Precinct 13, this is probably right up your alley.
Kind of a bottle movie.
Yeah.
Definitely check it out, and I think if you've ever played music, you'll find a lot to relate to in this flick. Definitely worth seeing. We love it.
Next up, we got Stanley Kubrick's masterpiece, The Shining. Now, The Shining is about a family who goes to the Overlook Hotel to basically be caretakers during the winter holiday when no one can get up to the hotel.
And boy, do things ever not go well for them.
They do not.
It is my favorite horror movie of all time, maybe my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah.
I love absolutely everything about this movie. I've seen it a million times. I never get tired of watching it. It's the perfect balance of scary and beautiful and incredible acting. I mean, Jack Nicholson destroys it.
Masterfully crafted by Stanley Kubrick. It really brings life to the haunted house sort of genre. This haunted hotel that we never really get the full story on, and we're never really sure if it's actually haunted or if the family's just going crazy.
Yeah, that's part of the fun about this movie too, though, is you can watch it and watch it as it's a haunted house thing, or it's a crazy dad movie, or it's about the history of America.
Yeah, or it's about a little boy who inexplicably can read people's minds.
Maybe it's that. I think it goes without saying that this is necessary watching for any fan of horror. It's one of the most perfect horror flicks of all time. You got to see this one.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, no, why are you dragging your feet? Just do it. It's on Netflix.
Get after it.
Go!
It's also a good time for you to watch this movie to prepare for our review episode coming up on our podcast in January. It's probably going to be about 5 or 6 hours long.
Yeah.
Because we can talk endlessly about this horror masterpiece. I can't really compare this into anything because, as one Sinead O'Connor once said, nothing compares to you. The Shining.
Tear.
Did she say that?
Yeah, she was like, all the flowers that you planted, The Shining.
That's the one.
In my backyard.
Yeah, Prince wrote that.
Yeah, he did. R.I.P. R.I.P. Prince. And R.I.P. Sinead O'Connor's career.
It's over.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Isn't it weird that she got banned from SNL for ripping a picture of the Pope, but then it turns out the Catholic Church is just full of pedophiles, so she was just like saying, hey, the Catholic Church is full of pedophiles, but they were like, we don't care.
I bet she was sitting back when all this stuff broke out and she was like, called it. Next up is one that I know a lot of you guys definitely need to see because I barely know anybody who has watched this. It's called I Am Not a Serial Killer, and it is so freaking good. It
is crazy that not that many people have seen this movie because it really is. It's something different, something you're not going to expect, and it's well acted. Well directed, looks great.
It is great, and it's basically just kind of a story about a small town where There's a family that owns a mortuary, and the son is kind of like a confirmed sociopath, and some people in the town start dying, so everybody kind of expects that it's him killing everybody. And man alive, it's so well acted, so well directed, and takes some turns that I absolutely could not have predicted. And it's got Doc Brown!
It does have Doc Brown in it, and it has Max records from your favorite movie, Where the Wild Things Are.
My least favorite movie, Where the Wild Things Are. I just learned about this. I didn't realize it was the same kid. God, I fucking hate that movie so much. I would say that this is a great movie to watch if you're interested in learning about the psychology of sociopaths and serial killers. Like, if you listen to the last podcast on the left or something like that, you'll probably enjoy watching this movie. I wouldn't say that there's a ton that I would compare this to as far as like stuff it reminded me of. I think the closest thing I could compare it to would be like The End of the Fucking World, which was a series on Netflix. Great. It was awesome.
It's great. Go check that out too, by the way. End of the Fucking World. Awesome.
And maybe shades of My Friend Dahmer.
Okay.
Although it's way less boring than that was. That's very boring.
Next up on our list, Shaun of the Dead. Now, Shaun of the Dead is a British zombie comedy type of movie. It is amazing.
Indeed it is. It's part of the Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, what do they call it? The Cornetto?
Yeah, the Cornetto trilogy.
Yeah, which includes Hot Fuzz and At World's End? Is that what
At World's End, yeah.
Which is also quite good. And it's really fun because pretty much all those other movies are kind of a spoof of other genres. Hot Fuzz is kind of a spoof of the buddy cop thing. World's End is kind of a sci-fi sort of thing. And this is their take on horror flicks. And it does such a good job of paying homage to so many classic zombie flicks.
Yes.
While at the same time being really funny and telling its own story. And
being very original.
Memorable characters. Great soundtrack.
Oh, so good.
The soundtrack in this one.
And very funny. Nick Frost and Simon Pegg, of course.
Wonderful. Name a more iconic duo.
Aside from
Other than us, obviously. And unlike a lot of other horror comedies that kind of go light on the gore and stuff like that in order to keep the mood nice and light, this has got some really killer, great, bloody, gory scenes in it, and it gets kind of dark towards the end.
It does. It has a real heart, this movie, and because of the situation, it's able to get real dark.
If you'd like to hear all of our thoughts about it, be sure to listen to episode 34 of our podcast, Dead and Lovely, rate and review on iTunes. So Steve, I know that this movie that we've been doing here is for our Dead and Lovely viewers, but I want to talk about me here for a second. I've seen all these other movies.
Yeah.
I've seen them.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something I need to see on Netflix that I haven't seen yet.
You know what? There are a number, and I'm just going to pick one at random.
Hit me.
Life After Beth.
I don't know about it.
Well, we just talked about a zombie comedy, Shaun of the Dead. It is a zom-com, much like a rom-com, but with zombies involved.
Okay.
It has Aubrey Plaza.
Which one is Hugh Grant?
Hugh Grant's the zombie, of course.
Got it.
It has Aubrey Plaza, Dane DeHaan, Matthew Gray Gubler, Andy Kendrick. Yeah, it really has like the romantic comedy elements to it, but what brings the great horror to it is Aubrey Plaza's dedication to being a zombie.
Oh, she eats it up, huh?
Yeah.
She's awesome.
I think she is.
She seems like a great hang, or just a really weird hang. Either way, I want to hang with her. She seems awesome.
Yeah. It's no spoiler, she becomes a zombie pretty early in the movie, and so a lot of the movie is her ex-boyfriend dealing with her as a zombie.
Okay.
And it's very funny. It's got, all that comedic stuff to it. Also has that heart that Shaun of the Dead has. I would compare it to maybe Warm Bodies, but less sappy.
Okay, right on. Well, I'm on board. I think I'm gonna check that one out.
Everybody should.
Everybody Wang Chung tonight.
Oh, is that happening tonight?
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to let us know in the comments below what great stuff you've seen on the Netflix recently. You guys be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for new videos all the time, and ring the bell! Ring it! For notifications every time we post up something new, so you guys can hear our thoughts on whatever's new in the world of all things horror!
Be sure to follow us on social media, Twitter and Instagram at DeadLovelyPod. We have a Facebook group, Dead and Lovely Horror Group, and you can email us at deadandlovelypod@gmail.com.
Thanks again for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon.
Where the Wild Things Are. The kid in
Ew,
it
it's
is
him?
Max Records from Where the Wild Things Are. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the kid that plays Max?
Yeah.
He plays the main character in this.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna hate this movie now?
Kind of puts a dent in it for me.
Does it?
He really hates
God, I
Where the
hate that
Wild
movie
Things.
so much.
Why? What did you expect it to be?
It's
It was
fucking
like,
awful.
it was like a 15-page kids book.
Yeah, and they
It
turned it into
was
this
his-
big emo shit fest.
It was his favorite childhood book.
Almost
I
got
thought it was
tattoos.
pretty emo though.
No. The monsters have fun and stuff. In the movie, they're like, "You hurt my feelings."
I think isn't it
Ugh.
about how he's going through puberty and becoming a monster?
No, it's just about
Because
being a little boy. You're fucking crazy and wild. The society can't really contain you, but he goes to this land of monsters and he fits in, and he gets his fucking wiles out and he comes back.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not like that, Steve. It's not like that at all.